Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is set for one episode. Your host from Columbus, Ohio, is Michael Kirk. Welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast. Hello and welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast, your digital audio dirt sheet for all things Supershow. And on this special episode of the Outlaw Mudcast, I am joined by recent Faction Wars winner, first rounder, Veterans Champion, the accolades go on, Mark Perre, and we're going to go through the recent Supershow Olympics draft. As a reminder, in the interest of getting this out as quickly as possible, it will be presented with limited audio editing, so if there are any audio issues, I apologize. With that being said, Mr. Mark Perre, welcome to the show.
And with that said, if you don't like the fact that it's not edited properly, you're in the wrong place, you bums.
Now, hold on. I try to put out a quality product, all right?
Of course you do.
I try to put out a quality product.
And the best product you do is the Outlaw Burial Cast, this is going to be the Burial Cast. We're going to tell you where people botched on their Olympic picks, and we're going to tell them where the real steals are.
All right, well, I think we've decided the format we're going to do for this is we're just going to go through top to bottom each round and just talk about the picks. And so we'll open up opening pick, first round, with Yasmin picks Trey Cantrell.
Trey Cantrell. Solid pick. I wouldn't have taken him number one overall, because, we all did our little picks too, and we written them down and stuff like that. I didn't have Trell as a number one. I did have Trell. Not Trell. I did have Trey as a first rounder easily. I actually had him in my top 10. So you can't falter. She says she's learning stuff from him. They get along well. Great team dynamic. I say great pick. However, first overall, but you know what? We'll see how that turns out.
I did hear her explanation after the draft on the SRG Universe Twitch channel, during the broadcast. It makes sense to me. Some of these people, I'm just not familiar with their game. I haven't played them enough. And so I really can't speak to how great Trey Cantrell is, but she's definitely was comfortable with him. She finds him to be very valuable, so that should work out. They should have a good team dynamic. Second pick. Go ahead.
This is easy. This is hands down my number one pick that I wrote down. Ryan Piercer, Candyman Dan. He has got the steal of the draft, the steal of the first round. Even though it was one spot later, no, this was the best pick. Best pick on the board. Candyman Dan starting out strong.
And again, Ryan Pierce, someone I haven't played a lot, but clearly you won Faction Wars with him on your team, so you know the value of him, and you're saying absolutely great pick.
GOAT. He's the GOAT. Last year, he sealed the deal for us. Amazing person, funny guy, love the man. And you know what, for all of you don't know, this Thursday, let's everybody wish a happy birthday to the Ryan Piercer this Thursday. Hopefully this Outlaw Burial Cast won't even be posted until Thursday. That way, it comes out the day of his birthday. I know you're going to be expedited. You're going to get it out tonight. You're going to get it out tonight. There you go, baby.
As I record this, June 11th, but that would be June 13th, so...
Happy birthday, Ryan Piercer.
All right.
Yes.
Third pick. Again, someone you've been a faction mate with. Colin Simon takes Kirk Polka.
I'm going to say not somebody been against, not somebody I've been with. I love both of these people, and this is a great steal because I had Kirk Polka at number 2 on my board. And you know what? Kirk Polka is a real number 2 of a friend. He's a total shit, but I love this guy. Great pick.
Hey! We keep it G on the show.
G. That's not a bad word.
I have to now go in and add in a beat because of you.
All right. We'll just call it Schmidt. He's a great. He's a great Schmidt. Great pick.
You can say Schmidt on this show. Okay.
This is a great 100%. Pick. Colin Simon taking Kirk Polka, who I have at number 2. Great pick.
There's only been 4 people that have been player of the year. 2 of them singles players. 2 of them are captains. The only singles player of the era in this draft was Kirk Polka. To me, that's who I would have picked first. Again, not as familiar with the prior two picks, so that's why I would have gone Polka. I think that's all it needs to be said. Fourth pick of the draft from the Cannoli.
And Fouché.
His tag team partner, member of the duodecimal system.
Now, this one is a little bit weird because, like, I talked to a lot of the other captains, not all of them, but a lot of the other ones, and we're in private chats and so forth. And everybody said that they're going to be playing with people that are different. Like, for example, you didn't see anybody from Just Business draft anybody for Just Business. You didn't see Robert the Brain Dunn draft anybody. Everybody fully embraced the, hey, we're going to play with other people that we played with. And the Cannoli said, screw that. I'm going with the tried and true Ken Fouché with 4 belts, not 1, not 2, not 3. He is the titan of the Deep South. He is infringing on TJ Marconi. Ken Fouché is a little bit of a stretch at 4, but you know what? I have no problem with it. The man has just got his 4th title this weekend, the Tornado Championship, off of my boy, Kirk Polka, who is 1 stop above him. So this is a great pick for the Cannoli.
I mean, they're definitely familiar with each other. Ken Fouché, obviously hot, just taking that LFF Tornado Tag Team Championship earlier in the day, so not the first name I would have come up with if you asked me top 5, but it makes sense to me. 5th pick of the round, the Star Maker, Everett Stevens takes Mitchell Manja of the Big Picture.
Great pick. I actually had him written in at 5, so it makes sense. The man drops it at number 5. Great player. I'm going to tell you, the Star Maker who gets no respect. EV Fresh is going to make this already of a beast. Mitchell Mangina, I like to call it, due to the typo from Wait for it, Schmidt. This guy is going to be a beast. You watch. Everett Stevens, Mitchell Manja, you watch. This is going to be a powerful team.
I will keep my eye out on that. 6th pick, Bob Dunn takes the big
guy. You know what? If my records are correct, and I'm going to tell you, Jeff McPeak did a flawless record keeping. The big guy, undefeated in Faction Wars. He carried his team with C-Mac and everybody. He undefeated in Tornadoes and Trios. He smacked around the grump, made him a little chumpy grumpy. The big guy, great pick. But the only thing is, he did that with Tornado and Trios. Big guy doesn't have that kind of success with singles. So we'll see what happens. And you know what? Bob is going to just make the big guy that much better.
We'll see what happens. The big guy does have a track record of being in big matches. So that's something he can definitely use as a strength going forward through this. So I think that's a good pick. Bob Dunn saying he wanted to play with the big guy, taking that opportunity here in the first round to make sure that's a guarantee. That's his pick. 7th pick, your former faction mate. Actually, no, you're still in the faction together. John Polverino takes Simple Chuck.
The simp of all simps. Simple Chuck, great player. We just talk crap to each other all the time, but this is one great man, and now he is stepping away from the Drew Madsen tutelage, which Polverino taught Drew Madsen everything he knows. So now, how good is Simple Chuck going to be? Learning from the best of the best in this game. Press 1P. Dwayne Rainey slipping down to this spot, or is he going higher? I'm going to say the last 2 picks have raised up. They're above where I had them picked. I had a couple people before them, which we'll see later on, but this is a great pick. Polverino is going to make Simple Chuck. Just remove the simp. He's just going to be powerful Chuck after this. You watch. Mark my words.
Any thought to the idea that Polverino took him so the grump couldn't?
Zero. Do you think the Polverino even bats an eye asleep because of Chumpy Grumpy? No, he don't care. Next.
But you know, okay.
Next.
I mean, look, people value mind games more than you'd think. Maybe he's just trying to have a little fun at the same time as getting a great player. Who knows? 8th pick, Drew Madsen takes John Mac Schnurr.
This is the man I had simply at number 3. Yes, I had the Piercer, Just Business. I had Kirk Polka, just business. John McSchnur was my number 3 pick overall. The man single-handedly built decks, carried his team. Beautiful man. I love this guy. His acting's great. Always a good time. We don't take the game seriously. This is the man you want on the team. This right here is a group effort as the Olympics, and this is going to be one of the funniest men to hang out with. I wish I was part of this man's team because I would love to get inside his head. Drew Madsen, great pick.
Never been on his team. Heard a lot of great things. A lot of stories, a lot of legends. Former player of the year. Can't argue this pick. The next pick. Hold the line, Harry takes.
Oh boy.
The man joining me on the broadcast, Mark Perre. First rounder, 10th pick, I believe. No, I'm sorry. Is that right?
I believe I'm 9th.
9th pick. Top 10 pick. Top 10.
I'm going to just say this is a botch. This is a botch. I'm a solid second, third rounder. You know, good at the game, but I don't play well with others. And Jonathan Thu and I, we're going to do some things. We're going to do some things with his team. I don't like patting myself on the back. I wrote myself in second round. Play-wise, good enough for first.
You have the Faction Wars winning experience. That may translate well here. Yeah, I wouldn't sell yourself short. 10th pick, Practice Site, takes the other player of the era, tag team player of the era, Sean Loeb.
This right here is just this. I can't believe he fell this low. I just can't believe it. He should be at top 5 or 6 easily. The collector Sean Loeb, this man's just going to do wonderful things. I'll tell you. Let me do a real quick little search. He's probably going to be the best player on the game because most of these you say the captain is probably the best. No, this guy's the best player on his team, hands down. That's what I got for this one.
All right. Next pick in the round, James Booker takes the SRG boss.
This is the guy I had written as a 0 pick. You are absolutely foolish. Every single one of these captains above James Booker, and I hope they all listen. You are all absolute complete idiots. Steve Resk has access to every card in the game. He has access to every competitor in the game, which is part of this draft process. And on top of that, Steve Resk wins CACs with non-optimized decks. You give Steve Resk an optimized deck, I don't think he ever loses. This is the steal of the draft. This is unbelievable. He fell down. I'm going to say with the exception of maybe Dan and Colin Simon, and you know what, even for a little bit, Yaz, there is no reason for Steve to drop this low. No, this is unexcusable. And James Booker, you're going to make a mockery out of this Olympics with what you do with Steve.
You know, it's hard to argue. Of all the tangibles you mentioned, you also have the intangibles of, you know, he can make any ruling he wants. You know, are we going to get the crime wave shenanigans, Steve Resk? We could. He's teamed up with Booker. That's a team.
I hope so.
All about shenanigans.
Let's do it.
Yep. Next up, the Grump takes Piglet.
Hands down, the loudest man in the room. It used to be James Booker. No, man. No, Piglet, a.k.a. the Big Hoss, the Under Hoss. You can give him all the names in the world. This man is going to wreck face. He could be. I think he's slotted right here. This is right where I have him. I had him above me, that's for sure. This is a steal. This is a steal. I'm going to tell you, Brian Lee is probably heartbroken that he wasn't on the board for his pick.
I mean, I definitely could. They've had a lot of success in the past. I think this is a good pick.
I agree.
Chris Pate takes Zach Atchley.
I'm going to tell you right now, Zach Atchley deserves to be a number 1 draft pick. Zach Atchley is a great player. Now you're going to get the tutelage of Chris Pate. And you know what? Chris may hate this. He's very anal with his deck. He is very meticulous. And now you're going to get Zach Atchley and him, 2 great minds working together. This duo is. I'm going to tell you, this is the Final Four team right here, just off this first pick alone.
All right. Okay. We'll see what happens. Johnny Correa takes Google Docs Dan.
This is a stretch. I had Google Docs Dan early second round. He's a first rounder, and I'm not going to say anything. He's won 3 faction wars. You can't dispute it. It's a great pick. Dan has a great mind. Me and him have talked for hours on end about deck tech, and I gave him some of my personal opinion on deck tech, and he went and won locals with it. So this man he takes advice. He will sit there. He does the Google Docs. He does all the mathematics. This guy is going to whoop that behind. Great pick.
You have to agree, great pick. Like you said, Faction Wars current LFF Tri-State Tag Team Champion. Solid pick. The Cheetah takes Candyman.
Play-wise, okay, first round, don't build your own decks. Again, I had a high second round, not a first round. There's some people in the second round that we'll see later that should have been first. I mean, there's some third rounders that could have been second rounders or even first rounders. I'm going to say this is a good pick, but ain't got Dan building your decks for you. So, and you're going to have Ian Chambers building them. So it's going to be a very comical release. I'm going to say team overall. I'm just going down his list. This is going to be a tough team to do well, just because of some of the stuff, and I don't think Ian fully embraced knowing, hey, these people got to have a collection, these people got to have access to this stuff. But Ian's second round pick, which we'll get to, way to go, Ian, way to go. You've addressed some of the problems in the second round with your later picks.
She has experience winning. She's the
former Tornado champion.
I was going to say former Underworld,
excuse me.
Just I was about to say current, but like, no, she just dropped the strap. But
yeah, to Taylor.
She has experience in big matches. She has experience winning. We'll see if how far that carries her through Faction Wars. Sorry, through Supershow
Olympics.
So close. So close. And then the final pick of the first round, the Italian Bombata selects El Hombre Cybernetico.
This right here is a low-key sleeper pick. The man has been tearing it up online. Was he at Grand Gather, Michael?
I believe he was.
He was. I can't say I even ran into him, which is a shame, because I would have loved to met the guy in person. This is a guy I 100% had my first round pick. People are gonna say you're crazy. No, the guy. Yeah, he asked. We already know he's playing Quad H, because at the end of the draft, or the Olympics draft, the horse said he is selecting Quad H, so he's picking Carlos's most successful character. So we already know the Underworld division for the horses team is going to be Carlos Lumble with Quad H. Great pick. Great pick. First round, I'm going to say there is a whole bunch of A's. The B's, I would probably, and it's no disrespect to my boy Google Docs Dan. He hasn't played a lot. I'm going to just say Brian Lee and Ian Chambers are the only ones that I think started off or did poorly in their first round draft. Everybody else did pretty well. I won't lie. I think Candyman Dan, just having Dan and Ryan Piercer, I say they make the finals just because of those two people, those two great minds, automatically. And James Booker, Steve Rask, they're in the final two or final four teams. Polverino, always a contender. I don't think he's going to make it as I would down the line further. But just looking from the first round, I'm going to tell you right now, Candyman Dan's team and James Booker's team, those are my two favorites after round one going to the finals. And this is including myself. I'm not throwing shade on all these other people without crapping on myself. So this is a great first round, and we're just going to have to see how it turns out.
Yeah, I think those are both strong tandems that you mentioned. Carlos Lumbre has been again on a hot streak. Walked out of PAX Unplugged, I believe, with the Play Pure Championship, and I want to say the Triad Championship. No longer Triad Champion currently, but still holds that belt until at least I don't think he's going to be at Origins, so he'll hold that belt till Origins. But let's go on to the round two. It's a snake draft. The picks go in reverse order. Bombata picked last. Bombata picks first here. He takes Rambo Apocalypse.
I'm going to tell you right now, another locker room guy. Rambo Apocalypse is better than people give him credit for. I talk crap to this man all the time too, but you know what? Love this dude. He could have easily said, hey, Rambo's my first round pick. Carlos Lumbre is my second round pick. It didn't matter. It was back to back. These two with the horse Now, the horse can do some crazy wonky picks, but we've already seen he sat down, he's already discussing with his team characters, and the man is building around his play characters. So he is going to have a great, great team. I say this is hands down. I think Will Priest could have been in the first round. I really do. Think he should have been in the first round, maybe taking Angela's or Dan Page's spot. Great. But hey, what can you do? So
I'm not going to argue there. I think Rambo Apocalypse is a solid pick. The Cheetah, second round, Ms. Southern Belle.
And she is it's not old global. She is the first inaugural global champion with a character that nobody saw. She did it and destroyed with it. Great pick. She has access to everything. She's got to bring the team morale up. It's the team is going to perform well because if there's anything they can't find, she'll get it. This is going to be a team all around Olympic thing with Ian helping with deck tech, with Belle being able to make sure they have the resources. This right here, this pick right here helps solidify Cheetah's draft down the board until we get to the fifth round. Fifth round's just a debacle. But yes, this is a good pick.
I agree with everything you said. Agree 100% with everything you said. Johnny Correa takes, and let me get his name right here because it wasn't a player I'm too familiar with. I believe it is the pinnacle Keenan Meadows.
Okay, I had Keenan Meadows. I really did not know much of him. I actually wrote him down, I believe, in 3 or 4 of my draft pick. Maybe this might be one of Mr. Lee's locals. I don't know. I don't know much about the guy. Okay, so that probably be the case. And I'm going to tell you, Brian Lee with Piglet and their group and the amount of deck tech. I'm going to tell you what. Brian Lee and Piglet together. You get in a chat with just those two minds and bounce stuff off the wall with those two gentlemen. It's insane. So I'm going to tell you what. If Keenan is part of his local play group, this is an amazing pick at number 2. I don't know the guy, so I can't really say much. But he will be a good pick.
I would say yes. If he can work one-on-one with Johnny Correa, then that will definitely make him a strong player. Is he going to be strong at round 2 against the round 2 competition? Because each person will have to play against the people in their round, from what I understand.
Correct.
We'll have to see. Again, yeah, I will trust your judgment because I also don't know anything about the guy. I've never seen him that I can recall. So we'll see. Potential off the route, potential out, out the gate though. Hanging with the right guys. Chris Pate takes the GOAT, Brock Smith, once in a generation, generational talent. Currently with the big picture. Currently Midwest Coast Tag Team Champion.
And a fellow Michigan player. So I'm just going to hope for Chris Pate's sake that Brock Smith is close to him. Because I saw Brock Smith's entire collection at Grand Gathering. And he ripped it apart, built new decks. Ripped it apart, built new decks. So Chris Pate's interview process, there is no question of the talent of the GOAT, Brock Smith. With the exception of, did he even make very many cuts at Grand Gathering? Actually, his wonderful girlfriend, just somebody I used to know, did much better than him. So Chris Pate is going to have to get the resources to this man because this kid's just still in college. He's broke. He's all this, but his talent with the wrestling cards and dice is amazing. It's just, does he have it? And the answer is no. So if Chris Pate is able to feel the needs of the deck, this kid is going to be amazing.
You can't deny the talent. Collection-wise, maybe that's a weakness, but maybe the team can overcome it. We'll have to see. The Grump takes General Lee Wong.
Jeff McPeak. You can't say enough. The guy has the collection. He's got the character. He's got the cards. And we've seen at Grand Gathering, he threw me out of the ring or set me on fire in a ring of fire. The man whipped me to make top cut to make that bird cage. So, you know what? Up and Rising Star, you got Chumpy Danny Thunder. Hey, maybe he'll learn how to throw the dice like Danny. He won't lose that if that's the case. Great pick. I had Jeff high on my board in the second round. Great pick. Steal for Danny Thunder.
100% agree. Jeff McPeak, great pick. I've played Faction Wars with him. outstanding, great, nothing but good things to say about Jeff Peak. James Booker takes Coach Brad.
Deal. I'm just telling you, Booker now he has Mr. Resk. Now he has Coach Brad. He is building a monster of a team right here. As we're looking right now with the people that have their first 2 picks, James Booker he's the cream rises to the top, and that's what it's looking right now. It's beautiful. This is a perfect pick, perfect spot. James Booker is getting value for his team right here.
I only know Coach Brad by reputation, but if he lives up to that reputation, this is a great pick. Practice site takes Elder Dan.
Elder Dan has been doing great stuff, with the exception of joining some Colt and Light. The guy's been winning, doing great at locals, making top cut after top cut. Solid pick. I think the locker room mentality, I think him and Jeremy get along well. I say it's a good pick.
Agreed. Good pick. Hold the line, Harry takes your Vegas Invaders tag team partner, Eddie Fury.
This was a stretch. This bum, he should be down in the 5th round. What? How did he get up here? Oh, that's right. He's a former world champion. He's Eddie Fury. He's my Vegas Invader sellout tag team partner. He was just some stupid clown, Ron Hughes. Jeez Louise. But you know what? We're going to make it work. You'll see a real theme here, guys. I don't put a lot of grain and salt into our team, but this is Jonathan's team. I'm telling my team, I really hate the fact that this is a team effort, and this is the captain's team. Go with what your captain says. Embrace all of this. I'm already seeing some stuff from our chat, and let's not ask for world title. No, let the captains do the captain's job. Let the captains tell you what division you're playing in. All right, let's move on.
I think you're building a solid team. I think Hold Line Harry's building a solid team. Drew Madsen takes the LFF chiropractor.
I'm going to tell you what, this is steel. Drew's building a team too. It's like, wow, this is pretty impressive right here. Pretty impressive. Nothing wrong with this pick. I like it. Love right where it's at. It's perfect.
Seems like a fine pick. I don't know a ton about his game. 2nd round, I could have seen chiropractor going 3rd round. I'm not going to argue with it.
Yep.
John Polverino takes Johnny Eldorado.
Johnny Eldorado, the man he loved to play, the guy. I'm going to just tell you right now, under Polverino's deck building and a couple chats with them and getting the mindset on board, great pick.
All right.
Enough said.
Yeah, agreed. Bob Dunn takes Harvey Luster.
Harvey Luster's been on a tear lately at his locals. I just see it. Top cut, finals. With Robert the Brain Dunn getting behind it. And I believe they were on a team before. I can't remember. It wasn't Think Tank, maybe. I don't know. But
I don't recall. I don't think they were. Doesn't ring a bell.
I know because I know Bob Dunn's been,
but I think that was McPeak and his daughter and Mike Riot, I believe, was that. I want to say that was the team.
I think they work together. And I'm going to tell you what, this is a good pick because Greg is very active in the game. He's very knowledgeable. The guy whooped my butt at Grand Gathering. The guy's got a tutelage. He's got a different way of thinking, and you put that different way of thinking with the Bob Dunn way of thinking, I think this is an excellent pick.
I think he's a great mind for the game. I've had great conversations with him about the game. He's been the dominant Deep South champion for quite a while. I think this is a great pick. The Star Maker Everett Stevens takes the Judge Tim Riley.
Now this is where I talk crap about everybody above Everett Stevens. Tim Riley is my other 1st round pick. I had him on the board. The Judge Tim Riley is 1st round caliber draft pick. What were you all thinking? I mean, in the 2nd round, let's think. I think the only person I had in the 2nd round above him is Will Priest. Will Priest is in the 2nd round, who should have been a 1st round pick. Total botch. Star Maker, you are building a team. I love it. I am disgusted that the Judge made it this far down into round 2. That includes you, Polverino, and you, Bob Dunn. What are you guys doing?
I mean, we all know about Tim Riley's dominance when he was Deep Six champion.
Yes.
I guess I just don't. To me, I don't feel as strongly as you do that he should have been higher. Not, no disrespect to the guy. I just don't know enough about his game to rate him like that. But if you say he's a good pick, I'm not going to argue with you. I think
great.
second round is solid for you. All right.
No, first rounder. Tim Riley.
Okay.
They all botched. Everybody that pecked above you in the second round, they botched on you, sir.
Right.
I hope you're listening.
Okay. The cannoli takes Brian, wait for it, Schmidt.
What a botch. I'm just going to keep it real. Schmidt doesn't. He's very open about it. He don't build his own decks. He hits the horse up. He hits Pulverino up. I mean, he's a glorified. All I do is get all these title shots for all my work and stuff. And Schmidt, I know you can handle it. I'm just talking crap, but you are not a second round pick. You are a third round at best. This is a botch. But we'll see how the cannoli drafts. He's being way too friendly. This is not a good pick here, in my opinion. Not a good pick.
I mean, Schmidt does act for a lot of title shots, but that means he has a lot of big match, title match experience. There's value to that. Is it second round value? Cannoli seems to think so. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not going to argue too much. Schmidt, to me, I could see definitely being in the second round.
Swing it a Schmidt. Way to go, Cannoli.
Colin Simon takes the New York Phenom.
Jason, the sellout Fasan. Great pick. The guy who was up and rising at Grand Gathering. Guy who was up in his thing, went to dinner with them. Great guy. Love him. Even though we had our feud. But the great thing about it is the people that can handle the feuds are the people you want to continue to be friends with and BS all the time. The guy, I'm going to tell you, Colin, he's got a great mind for this game. A lot of unorthodox decks. I played against him, and I was like, wow, I would have not thought of that card. But it worked out for him. So I'm going to say Jason, the sellout Fasan, in this spot with Kirk Polka. This is a really good start of a team.
Agree with that. I have had, as the representative for JAC, a nice feud with the New York Phenom. Probably the best feud in the previous CCC. So agree with you there about the feuds. I don't know anything about him being a sellout, so no comment on that. Candyman Dan takes Pride.
Great. The man has everything. See, look at Candyman Dan is using his brain here. This is showing a great mind. The guy that has access to the stuff. He has the cards. He's got a great mind for the game. Amazing second round pick. I'm going to say it is you know what? This is my fourth best pick in the second round. And he was second to last pick. The only ones, in my opinion, there's only two more above him. That's Will Priest and Tim Riley. And Yasmin's next pick, I think, was better than this one.
We'll talk about Yasmin's pick in a minute. Pride, not a guy I've played against a lot. Don't have a lot of knowledge about how his game is. You are probably right, though, that it is a strength that he would have access to a lot of cards. So definitely something to watch for there. And let's talk about the last pick, since you brought it up. Yasmin takes Mac Attack.
This right here is my third overall on my board for the second round. Mackenzie, I have her above Jeff McPeak. I think the daughter is better than father, and that's no insult to Jeff. That means Jeff has taught his daughter so well that he surpassed him. This is a great thing. Love the pick. This is just hands down. She knows what she's doing. She knows what the type of team she's building around. This is a good pick, and of course, Mac is going to have access to all the dad stuff. So this is going to be a overall great solid pick, and this is my third pick in the second round that I had.
Agreed. Mac Attack, great player. Former LFF Tag Team Champion, I believe.
The junior champ.
Champ.
Bluegrass.
Yeah,
her accolades go on.
A lot of accolades for her. Been on a Faction Wars team with her, seen the success she can have. Definitely agree with that. And of course, we go now to the third round. Yasmin, back-to-back picks because it's a snake draft. Nick Nimble.
Great pick. You could just see that she is building a locker room of people that will take her tutelage, that will take her knowledge and do what they can with it. Great pick. I'm telling you, Yaz is not messing around. She's like, all right, I may have not won Faction Wars, but this Olympic thing it's on my radar. Great, great pick.
Again, this is someone I'll just take your word for because I'm not too familiar with Nick Nimble outside of the work he's done as part of Ironic with Rowdy Ron. But they've been a good tag team, so this is probably a good pick for her here. Candyman Dan takes C-Mac.
I'm going to tell you, this destroyed me because like I barely got into my chat and I was saying, hey, here are some people that I think are third round steals. And this is just another example of Candyman Dan taking all the knowledge. Another character or player, C-Mac, has one of every card, has every competitor. It doesn't matter what Candyman drafts as competitors or what cards they need for their deck. Chris McMillan has it. I don't know why you look at everybody else. Candyman Dan is building a monster. He's going to say there is no excuse for us losing the Olympics other than our dice rolls because they're going to have the characters. They're going to have the cards. And C-Mac is a great player. I was sad he went off the board. And then we'll see what happens in another couple picks because this is like devastating.
C-Mac is a good player. I've also been on a Faction Wars team with him. I echo everything you say. Good pick, good player, good choice for the Candyman. Colin Simon takes Sherry Von Danish.
Again, back-to-back picks. I mean, I couldn't be texting fast enough with Jonathan Thu because I couldn't be at the Zoom. I was indisposed. And I'm going to tell you right now, I said Sierra Simon, she's going to be a steal. She is the SRG Baker, the most loveliest woman in the LFF. Everybody wants her on their team. And we missed out. And, of course, I know Calais said, oh, it's because you're sleep neck. No, GM Calais. Sierra Flores Simon, she is a force to be reckoned with. She is one of the premier women in this division in the LFF. We got, who can you say is above her? Candyman, Jennifer Bell, Mackenzie. They're all on the same level. I'm going to say this is a steal of a pick. Very jealous when he took her. I was like, damn it. Great pick.
You know, great player. Play with her all the time at locals. Play against her all the time at locals. Can't argue. Just a great player.
This is the point in the draft is where it was like really starting to get stressed because everybody had their sheets of paper and we're starting to cross people off, and I just couldn't believe I'm like, I would love to have them on a team, and I'm just starting to cross them off. I'm like going, oh my gosh, as I text it, and then I'm like, never mind, and text it, never mind. It was very just so frustrating.
All right, the cannoli takes everyone's enemy Joel Williams.
I'm going to tell you, one of my funnest matches at Grand Gathering was against this person. I just couldn't believe the deck tech. Great player under the cannoli. To me personally, I didn't think their personalities would jive. Maybe they do. I don't know if they're friends or not. I say Joel Williams is a great player. Access to stuff. I mean, I had at least an hour or so long after dark chat. I'm talking like 2 or 3 in the morning chatting with this dude. I think Joe Williams, everyone an enemy. That's going to be a force. That's a great pick this high up in the third round.
Can't argue with that. I've seen great things from Joel Williams, so I think that's going to be a good pick for the team. The Star Maker Everett Stevens takes the returning Citizen X, Chris Bridges.
I don't get this one. And I have no personal beef with Chris Bridges. If he hears this, he might get a little salty or emotional. This is too high of a pick. The guy doesn't have much. He's been out of the game for quite a while, and that is a big reason why his game has stepped down. I played against him. I want to say I can't even remember what the last tournament was, and then his deck wasn't even properly built for the tournament they were playing in. So there was no reason for him to be this high. I mean, unless unless Evie Fresh is going to start mailing him some stuff, or Chris is going to open up his wallet and support the company again, or maybe he just gets his head wrapped around it again and cools off or so. I personally think this is a bad pick. I think this is fourth round quality, but hey, that's just my opinion. Maybe Evie Fresh has a better insight, knows something that we don't know. Maybe Chris Bridges. And I'm going to tell you, I love the guy. He with Bob Dunn and a lot of us, we created that veteran title belt, which I carry. So I have nothing but respect for the guy. He's behind the times, and there's a couple other people behind the times that we'll get to later in the game in this draft. But I just think this was a reach for Evie Fresh, and I just don't understand this pick.
I feel like the last time I played against Chris Bridges was when he was part of Bridges and Dunn 2 years ago now at Gen Con.
Exactly.
Yeah. Having said that, he was part of Bridges and Dunn. He did sit on a team with Bob Dunn. How much did Bob Dunn's mind for the game rub off on him? That could be a strength. Everett Stevens might be tapping into. This guy sat under the learning tree from Bob Dunn. That's a strength that people might be overlooking that he's going to bring to the team.
I agree.
All right. Speaking of Bob Dunn, the next pick is from Bob Dunn, who takes the frequent flyer.
This is the guy that I'm telling you, Bob must be like starting to take notes and see what Candyman Dan's doing. He's like, whoa, I got to get a veteran that has everything. This is a great pick. Keith flies under the radar, always makes top cut. This is a great pick.
Totally agree. Again, Keith is one of my local players. I see him all the time. It's good. It's a good pick. Definitely flies under the radar. Definitely better than I think he's viewed. Can't agree with you more. John Polverino takes Chugonomics.
All right. Now, this is a funny one because Chuggy, everybody loves Chuggy. Chuggy likes to do wild stuff. And that's one of the things that makes Chuggy so fun. And yet John Polverino's drafting the guy and is going to expect the guy to play an optimized deck. And what's going to happen when he gets pushback from Dom saying, no, I don't want to play that. I want to play my game. I want to play my fun, crazy, wonky stuff. This is a pick that only time will tell. Is Dom going to give up all his beliefs to do what Polverino wants? Or is Polverino going to let Dom have the fun that he wants? This is the Olympics. This is like Faction Wars. Is it really all that serious? No, this is not life-changing stuff, people. This is a children's card game. This is wrestling cards and dice. And I love the way Chuggy just plays to have fun. And believe me, Chuggy has beaten me down. I mean, I've been in triple threats with Chuggy, and I just get beat up on by him and Zach Atchley, and I don't take any of that personally. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm the number one threat and get beat down. So it's a weird pick. I would have never picked Chuggy being on this team, but then again, you go scroll back, and Polverino, who did he take in the second round? I think, was it the second round? Do you recall?
He took Johnny Eldorado in the second round.
Oh, Eldorado, that's right. So this is just, we'll just see what happens. That's just the way we got to roll.
I know a lot of people are thinking this is going to be a clash of styles because they do play so differently, but maybe this will be like a Jordan Rodman situation.
Exactly.
And
yes.
they'll be great together. Have an incredible time. We'll have to see. Drew Madsen takes Swaggy D.
Love Swaggy. I had a couple people below Swaggy, above Swaggy, but bro, if Swaggy listens to Drew and plays how Drew wants him to play, or at least the deck tech mind of it, and Swaggy does his thing, this is a great matchup. Drew's got a great mind for this game. People will sleep on Drew Madsen. No, he built a monster in the TVA. I'm going to tell you what, when they came out, they should have been Faction of the Year. They should have been everything that very first Grand Gathering 3. They got job done. But this is a great pick. I think that they get along so well. I mean, I play Fortnite with the guys. They're in my Fortnite chat. Two great people, great matchup, love it.
I think this is a solid pick. Swaggy D, someone I've never really played against, so I don't have a lot of first-hand experience, but he has a great reputation. I think he'll be a great addition to this team.
I love it.
Hold the line, Harry takes Matty Bar 1.
I love the pick. I mean, obviously, if you look at myself and Doug, this must be Team Olympic trolls. I don't know, but I have not a single bad thing for the drip drip. I mean, when we were in our little group chat that we're like, I actually got into the Zoom shortly after his pick.
Mm-hmm.
I just told him, I said, I'm going to tell you what, if Matty Barone plays an optimized deck, and he really hates playing optimized decks. He hates it. And you know what? Everybody has their own play style. But I'm going to tell you, if I can get into this guy's head and we practice some deck and he actually plays a deck, I mean, he was like probably the MVP for his team last Faction Wars. The guy was just phenomenal. I say the drip drip, great pick where he's at. I think he could have been higher because there's some people that shouldn't have been drafted higher than him. And I say it's a great pick. I love the guy. I mean, we are team troll, I guess. This is what we are going to be. But I think we'll do well. And I think Matty's going to add to our success for sure.
I can't disagree with any of that. I think Matty Bar one, veteran of the game, been part of Impact, has plenty of experience. I think he was part of the Crime Wave as well, wasn't he?
Yes, yeah.
Just
the
been
line.
around,
Let's see, the line, Crime Wave, and Impact. Yes.
Yeah. So he's been around some of the great minds of the game. Probably picked up quite a bit. Yeah, solid pick. I think your team is shaping up quite nicely. Practice Site takes the Meeple.
I like the Meeple. He has a very, I guess, different play style, and I think Jeremy's got a great deck mind. And if Jeremy is in control, like I told Harry, you draft whoever you want to draft, and I don't care what you draft. You just let me know what it is, and I'm going to play it. I can turn Schmidt into gold. so I'm going to roll with that. And I think Craig Brett is a good pick for him. I hope Craig Brett will actually listen to Jeremy because Jeremy's got a lot of knowledge. So we'll just see how that turns out. I think it's a good pick, though. I think it's a good pick.
I agree. Craig Brett is a great pick. Put on one of the best matches at Gen Con last year, the Triad Championship match, which I believe he walked away as champion, if my memory serves me right.
I believe so.
So, yeah, I think this is a good pick. James Booker takes the Harm City Hitman, Andrew Meckie.
Great pick. I'm telling you, there are people that are really embracing these Olympics, and now we're getting to the bottom part of the third round, and these are people that I'm telling Jonathan, hey, if these guys slip to us in round 4, we want them, and then I'm like, okay, there goes Meckie, and that it is what it is, and I'm like, okay, we're going on.
Yeah, Andrew Meckie, I've played before. This feels about the right spot. He hasn't been around for a while from what I've heard, so maybe a little ring rust, but, Practice Site can probably help knock some of that off and get him right back into shape.
You mean James Booker?
Sorry, James Booker. James Booker. I misread the thing. Oh, James Booker. Definitely get him back into trolling shape. Game shape, hey. We'll let the SRG boss do that.
There you go.
Sorry about that, folks. The Grump takes Jokerfish.
This is one of those ones that I had higher up in the third round. Jokerfish made it to the finals 4 and not Faction Wars, the Grand Battle last year. He's always performing well in line. Guy's just a great player, and now he's going to have the Grumpy Danny Thunder help him build his decks and stuff. And Jokerfish is not a slouch at building his deck. I just say this is a good matchup. The Grump is wanting to play to win. His team is starting to develop nicely. The only thing is, like Jokerfish and Jeff McPeak, the Grump's picks are not like I guess personality-wise, they're just so different because you got Piglet and now you got Jokerfish and Jeff McPeak. That's the only thing I'm saying. Okay, well maybe the I guess personalities are different.
Maybe
great pick.
They say variety is the spice of life, and maybe, the Grump's putting together a spicy team. I think Jokerfish, again, solid. I think he's a guy nobody wants to sit down across from and face because he's just that good. Yep. He's always going to be a tough guy to play. I got solid here. Chris Pate takes
the one, the only, the host of the Outlaw Mudcast. That's
right.
Michael Kirk. And I'm going to tell you what. Seconds before he selected you, I said, hey, if he's on the board, grab him. I think you were gone, like legit seconds. And then that's actually what happened to I think the next 6 picks in a row. I'm like, if this person's on the board, pick him. And you were the first one. Andrew, Justin, yeah, you were the third in a row. And then the next couple picks, only one of them wasn't on my list, per se.
Yeah. Surprised to go in the third round. A lot of people were projecting me fourth or fifth, so happy to get up in the third round.
No. I had you high third round, possible second round. You got to remember, you were the one and only individual who has ever won 3 events in one day at Gen
Con. That's right.
And you, sir, you have a great collection. You own everything. So
I own a lot of things. I don't own everything, but I own a lot.
You own all the cards. Maybe not all the competitors, but you own all the cards. So you're good. You're good.
All right, that's enough. That's enough blowing smoke. Let's go on to Johnny Correa taking the People's Casual Thebes pick.
We wanted him. I wanted him just because he gets along so well with Matt Barone. And just right after you got ripped off the board, Thebes got ripped off the board. I'm like, holy cow, can you believe it? Great pick. Thebes is gets along with Ant West. He hangs out with all those guys up there. So I think it's a good pick. Great pick.
Thebes is a great pick. Former Faction Wars teammate. Was a solid addition on a team that had a lot of had some struggles. Wish we could have gone farther. Yeah, I think it's a great pick. The Cheetah takes the Enforcer, Larry Beednell.
Okay, now, so this goes back to my thought process of why Ian took it. Because I played Larry at Grand Gathering multiple times. And I'm going to tell you, multiple times, I'm like, bro. And I love the guy. He's better. I think he's somewhere in line for my Veterans Champion shot. And of course, KSW and so forth. But his decks were so grossly outdated. And this makes me look back to Jennifer Bell and the fact that they're all Tennessee, Kentucky area. So this is my thinking process is like, hey, great player, doesn't have much, but with Jennifer Bell on the team, this is a great pick. That's my thought process behind this.
Solid veteran of the game, KSW Worldwide, one of the oldest factions in the game. And yeah, you're right. Any weakness you might have with old cards gets countered by Ms. Southern Bell's access to everything. So yeah, can't disagree with you on anything you said. The Italian Mabata finishes up the round. We're 3 rounds down, 2 to go by taking Split.
This kills me because this is like